Hi, my name is Vie and I am the author of Memoirs of a Forgotten Child. If you have been with me for the last 8 vlogs, you know that I'm doing a daily vlog countdown until my book release on February 14th, also known as Valentine's Day. Today I will be going over who this book best serves. I'm targeting 3 groups of people: the youth, Black people, and survivors. And in this vlog, I'll be breaking down what I mean by targeting, and I'll be breaking down why these specific 3 groups. The first group is the youth. And the reason why I want to target them first is because we're Generation Y. And a lot of people, especially older people, tend to say split comments like the generation who complains about why. The generation who doesn't do anything with their lives. The generation who has no struggles. And I really want to be able to help this generation because we are at a critical point where what we determine to do today will affect us tomorrow, and we will be the ones who set the standard. And I feel like with a lot of people in this generation, they're kind of sheeple. They don't really know where they're going. They don't really know why they're doing certain things. They're just there, and they're trying to find their way through all the negativity, find their way through all the propaganda or all the status quo. They're trying to find their way through all of it, and I just want to be a person where it's like, it's okay that you've been through things, and through these things it shaped you to become a better person, but you know, you can set your own standard. You don't have to follow the crowd. To me, I make the example of like, for this generation, everybody says they're unique and different. It's like buying the same shirt in different colors. That's how unique and different we are with this generation. And I want to be able to set an example where it's like, you can be different. You don't have to be different in the sense of, oh, I got blue, that person got red, that person has green. No, we have a V-neck. No, we have a turtleneck. No, we're sleeveless. No, we have polka dots. We have stripes. We have this, we have that, because we're just unique. But all through our uniqueness makes us a better person. Because we come from different backgrounds, we come from different situations, it gives us a better perspective that we can learn from each other, that we can grow from each other, that we can better this generation for the next generation to come. And like I said, this generation will be setting the standard for the next generation. This generation will be setting the standard for the future. And if we're over here just doing whatever, just to do whatever, or following something just to follow it, or just being trendy, then what does that say for the future? What does that say for the next generation to come? What does that say for our priorities? So this is the reason why I want to target this generation, because I feel like we all go through things, we all have been through things, but we tend to act like it doesn't affect us, or we try to act like it was so long ago, they don't need to bring it up, but it always affects us, especially if it's something traumatic and you never exhaled from it, you never acknowledged it, you never let yourself be and process it. And group number 2 is Black people. And I specifically chose Black people because as Black people, we tend to act like life doesn't affect us, like we're superhuman. And we don't talk about the trauma within our families. A lot of us know that there is an uncle that you shouldn't leave the kids with because that uncle's a little too touchy-feely. What that really means is that that uncle has molested children. Because he's the uncle, we don't say anything because we don't want to send this uncle to prison. We don't want to cause a problem within the family. We don't want to bring up the issue, so we sweep it under the table. And we as Black people tend to live our existence like that. Sweeping things under the table, acting like it doesn't matter, acting like it isn't there. And it takes a toll on our mental. It takes a toll on our psychological. It takes a toll on our physical. And I think as Black people, we need to be able to say that this hurts, this stresses us. This is the trauma that burdens us, so we can do right by the next generation. Because how can we do right by the next generation if we keep on acting like the things that hurt us don't really hurt us? That we need to be able to dissect the trauma, be in the trauma, feel all there is to feel in the trauma, heal from it and move on. So we don't continue what I believe in generational strongholds, generational curses. So we don't have a pattern of mental issues or traumatic issues or rape or molestation. We need to actually acknowledge these things. Acting like it doesn't exist doesn't take away from the fact that it did, and it still hurts, and it's still a burden. So this is why I want to target the Black population, because We do have high molestation within the community, and we don't talk about them, but we need to talk about them so we can do better by the next generation. Not every Black person has gone through this, but a lot of Black people do know somebody. If it's not them, they know somebody. Like I said, we do have a mentality where we just try to persevere, just try to make it to the next day, and we don't allow ourselves to exhale. We don't allow ourselves to acknowledge us feeling how we're feeling, and that is slowly deteriorating us, especially mentally and psychologically. That's why I'm targeting Blacks. The next group, the third group, is survivors, and I want to target survivors because even when it comes to stories of being a survivor of rape, molestation, we tend to be like, it happened, it was horrible, survivor. No one really talks about horrible and survival. That period, it tends to be skated over. And I want to show that, no, it's not skated over. It's not one jump to another. There's a whole lot of ups and downs. There's a whole lot of reckless behavior, mistakes made. And then you hit the rock bottom like alcoholism, and you slowly climb your way out of that pit to be better. But it's an evolution. It's a transformation. And with my book, I want to help people see that this is not permanently scar you for life, but it does leave a print on you. It's like what cement, then you put your foot in it. It will dry, it'll be fine, but it'll always have that print. And I want people to know that even though you have this print on you, it doesn't make you defective, doesn't make you less loved, it doesn't make you less appreciative, it doesn't make you less valuable. It's just an experience. And yes, this experience will shape you, it will mold you, but it doesn't mean that you're no longer worth anything, because you're priceless. And I want you to see that through my experience, and every survivor's experience is different, but through my experiences, the things that I went through, you can grab the good, you can grab the bad, you can evaluate it, you can dissect it, and if it applies to you, apply it to your life. And if it doesn't, and you know somebody you could apply to, pass it on to them. But the point of this is to do better, to be better, to want better, to desire better, to put forth effort to being better. And to not allow anybody to tell you can't be better, or you're just stuck, or you're just no longer good. Until you die, you can no longer do anything. But now that you're breathing, now that you're watching this video, now that you still have time on your hands, you can do whatever and be whatever you want. And that includes healing. And what I mean by target, I mean I specifically want to cater these books to these groups. And I happen to be a part of all three groups. I am young, Generation Y. I am Black. And I am a survivor. I want all these three groups to realize that we do have things in common, and that we need to do better so we can make sure the future is better. I mean, to be honest, what I sincerely desire is that rape is no longer spoken, not because it's a taboo, but because it doesn't happen. It's something that is never heard of. An atrocity that no one would ever think of doing. Molestation, that doesn't happen. Ever. No one has ever thought of doing something like that. That would be my wish. That would be my sincere goal in life, that those things never happen again. But if we don't talk about it, if we don't take away the taboo of it, if we don't heal from it, we will continue doing it, especially if statistics are right, where the majority of molesters do molest. We have to talk about it. We have to acknowledge it so we can do right for the next generation. So that is my daily vlog. Again, I am doing a daily vlog countdown until my book release on February 14th, also known as Valentine's Day. This was vlog number 9. And like always, be blessed and see you on the next vlog.